If you're using, an actual outside door, I would suggest having your dog all the way tied back to something that they could not escape from. And then from there, you got to show them the boundary so they can understand it's not for them to go to. So you kind of set them up to fail. You lead them up to it, you stop, you expect them to want to go out. And especially with e-collar and leash pressure, I just start letting her know, hey, pressure's on out there. But the moment she came back inside, I turned that pressure off. I let that leash be nice and loose. That is so good. And she's completely disengaging with it. And threshold drills don't have to be pretty, especially if your main goal is to prevent your dog from running out the door. I don't care that she went and was like, okay, forget you, I don't want to be out here, because that's really the goal. It's like, okay, unless we're going on a walk, I don't need you to care about the door at all. Good job, Lulu. So I just gave her one tap and one tug on the leash there to let her know, hey, I know you're thinking about it, but don't do it. And she's already getting good about offering me that pretty sit. But I suggest not saying the word and kind of giving them butt pressure. If they know a hand signal, suggest that signal to them. So then you can get away with spoon feeding them information. You want to go to the door and your dog auto be like, oh yeah, that's right. That little reminder on the leash reminded me that I should be sitting down. I should be waiting for that permission. And then baby steps from there. A lot of times people get to this point and then they're like, okay, great. Now let me run out. And no, my dog keeps following me. How do I get them back? And that's because there's a lot of steps involved with getting your dog to stay there and understanding it's not for them to go through. That's Lulu. So I suggest getting your dog to stop at the doorway. That's win one. Then from there, you work on that sit. You don't even care. Let's reset. Miss Lou. Beautiful. Try to just take one step out. So that one step is really hard already if your dog's used to following you through that door. So don't try to take 10 steps. Don't try to leave. And a lot of times too, it starts with just touching the door. You want your dog already sitting before that door even gets touched, and just work on touching. Okay, every time I touch the door, does my dog get up? Let's work them through that. All right, now we have the door open. Is me stepping through going to have my dog get up? Okay, I'm going to let her know that. So if I do start to step away and she decides to follow, I'm just going to add pressure. I'm going to add my body as pressure. I'm going to use my remote to let her know. And like I said, I'm just looking for that disengagement. She is extreme. I know. I know. You say I hate outside. That is so good. Good job, Lulu. Good girl. And so at this point, you're just making this a negative. She's like, okay, I really do get, I want nothing to do with this door. You made it a negative. Now from there, you got to walk your dog through understanding it's not always a negative. It's just a negative unless you ask first, unless you get that permission from me. So with that, I like to use the leash as information. What are you doing? So good. So she understands, okay, I can't go through. Every time I try to go through, you're giving me some form of pressure to tell me I can't. But then with that tug on the leash, okay, good girl. Then there should be no pressure. You tell her, okay, you let her know. And then from there, it's like, okay, I'm starting to get it now. It's just a negative if I take myself out without asking. But if you let me know I can go through, it's perfectly fine. Okay, good girl, Lulu.